Everything I need to create lives in a 2-liter bag. Now, before I go more in depth about exactly what's inside, first I wanted to share my 3 guidelines I created when it came to curating what goes into the belt bag. My first rule is man soll den Sack zubinden bevor ganz voll ist, which means tie the sack before it gets full. This belt bag is 2 liters, but I didn't want to put 2 liters worth of stuff inside of it. Having that empty space is important, and just to stick to the spirit of carrying things with intention. Secondly, C.O.P, the creative output potential. The best way I think about this is our idea of the hotel napkin, where just a small, easy to use, and simple tool that can lead to much bigger ideas. It doesn't have to be the tool that gives you the polished final product, but it needs to have that potential to start something much bigger than what itself is. And finally, it has to be fun. Functional. This is where work is play. The ability to share it with other people, to enjoy using it, and to tap into that creative, childlike ability just to have fun. Now, you may have noticed my first tool, which is this small field notes notebook. It's really great to have just some pieces of paper with you at all times, whether it's for writing something down, doodling, or even passing notes. And the notebook is paired with this really lovely pen. It is Archival ink, and overall it is just a joy to write with. And that duo fits right here in the back sleeve, along with my phone and a MagSafe wallet. Now, this is the iPhone Air. It is absolutely lovely, and it's built like a brick. And this MagSafe wallet carries 3 cards, which I feel like suffices for 99% of daily activities. And before we get to the main compartment of the belt bag, in this little side pocket, I have a rosary. If you don't know what a rosary is, they are Catholic prayer beads. They're tactile and offer a really great structure for prayer. And secondly, with the rosary comes the prayer card. When I was visiting a friend, we went to this coffee shop, and they had a huge shelf full of all these different patron saints. And when I went to go grab one random one, it ended up being the patron saint of cycling. Crazy. So I knew I needed it, and it has a nice home in this side pocket. When you're riding the e-bike everywhere on the road at all times, sometimes it's nice just to have that little bit of extra protection. Finally, getting into the main pocket. I have this Swiss Army knife, which just comes in handy so often. My goodness, I cannot tell you over the years how many times this has just always been a lifesaver. Alongside a carabiner, just incredibly useful and handy in a lot of situations in life. And then this nifty key holder organizer. They are on this tether of sorts, so the keys will never fall out of my belt bag. And then I have this pocket portfolio. I have another video which goes more in depth behind the inspiration behind it and how I put it all together. So feel free to check that out. But it's a fun way to share photos, and this buffalo leather case is just awesome. And before we get into the Holy Grail, a few functional items. I have a chapstick, which, again, if you're riding a bike, is a daily need. And then finally, some quarters for any stray gumball machines or the grocery carts at Aldi, and coin flips for any important life decisions. And the final thing in my belt bag is this camera. You can take it out and just quickly take a beautiful picture. And it's just a literal pleasure to shoot with. Now, my main camera is currently recording this video, but because this one right here is so pocket-sized, unobtrusive, unassuming, it really makes it so easy and not make too much of a splash in the scene that I am shooting. It has this nifty wrist strap, so I can use it when I am running or even riding the bike. So it is a perfect little companion for an everyday, fun, and simple kind of shooting experience. So that is what lives in this 2-liter belt bag that allows me to create and shoot whenever inspiration hits. Now, a big shout out to a few of these comments on my previous video about the pocket portfolio. I thought the Italian word for portfolio, meaning wallet, is just incredible, such a fun little fact. This was great feedback, and I hope the sound is a bit improved. And then finally, I was just so excited to hear that there was interest about what goes into the belt bag. But what do you think? What are your daily carries, your daily essentials? What am I missing? And what would you like to see next? Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.